Good morning, Brownsville. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you are watching this feed. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Frankie Olivo. Our program focuses on what is happening in the city of Brownsville and our surrounding areas. We make it a point to post and come on to you live Monday through Friday, every day at 9 a.m. To talk about what's important in our lives. We feel as if transparency is something that we don't get from our local herald, and even worse so, from our local politicians. If this is something that you can see yourself supporting, rooting for, or being part of the cause, we invite you to subscribe to our Facebook page. But more importantly, we ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We could be found on YouTube under Frankie Olivo TV. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Tuesday, chat. Taco Tuesday. Once again, if you are a T-Mobile member, make sure you look for their deals. They always have deals here and there for food, for travel. Summer's coming around the corner. Me personally, I take advantage of the free food that they give. Hey man, in this economy, got to get it any way possible. Yesterday was a very interesting day. My phone was blowing up more than the pizza man, so to speak. But it's important for us to recognize, what is going on in our city. We just had elections this past weekend, and we saw how the community. Well, last weekend, we did see how the community came out, how Cameron County resoundingly, at a 60% turnout, told the county this will not be in our favor in regards to the venue. Our purpose before you is always to be as transparent as possible, and that is a word that gets thrown out by many politicians. They promise to be transparent throughout their tenure. They promise to be fiscally responsible. But what happens once these individuals get into an authoritative position? They forget about their constituents. There is that lack of communication, lack of transparency. And what happens? Well, we, the community, are on the outside looking in. We're very proud of our former predecessor. Erasmo Castro was an individual that did ask those tough questions. You may have your reservations about the individual. He probably wasn't the best orator. Many people criticized his delivery. Sometimes he was just too blunt. But what people appreciated about Erasmo Castro was that he was real. He wore his heart on his sleeves, and it didn't matter whether he was coming before you every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., such as we are. When he was on the board as well, when he served this community, he was always very transparent. He felt indebted to the community because at the end of the day, he always ran on the platform that we, the constituents, we, the people, should be those voices. We should have a seat at that table, no matter what elective office or no matter what government entity we may find ourselves in. I never expected for me, myself, to be doing this. People ask me, how did you get into this? Did you take journalism? Did you study communications? I was just fortunate enough to be raised in a church that allowed me to work on my communication skills. Um, Also, I was fortunate enough to learn from the very best. Erasmo Castro was always ahead of his time, and he used blogs, he used Facebook. But the one thing that kind of he revolutionized in the sense of sending or providing information to the community was his podcasts. I was fortunate enough to join him, be by his side whenever COVID happened. COVID, there was a lot of uncertainty. We brought on doctors, nurses, um, people from all walks of life, mainly in the medical profession, to give us a better insight into what we're dealing with. Um, Never in my wildest dreams that I think that I would be the person to take the reins once he was no longer with us. I was by his side while he was criticized, while he was ridiculed. At the end of the day, whenever we talk about issues, important issues that are happening within our local area, we have people in power that don't want many of whatever's happening uh, to get out to the public. It is no question that we as constituents, we as residents, not just here in Brownsville, but in the Rio Grande Valley, we have a certain disconnection. We don't trust authority. We don't trust our elected officials. We can make the case that because of corruption, because of lack of transparency, many of us feel as if those in power aren't there for the right reasons. By coming on before you, what I hope to provide is the latest information because at the end of the day, we are the taxpayers. We are the ones that allow these individuals, whether at the city, at the port, at the school, at the college, at the city, at the county, we are the ones that allow these individuals to take those seats. My goal every day when I come on before you, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. My goal is always to present black and white information. I want to be a program that you tune in every day to find out what is happening. When I took over and started what my beloved predecessor began, my goal is to be black and white. I want to stay away from the gray area as much as possible. Unfortunately, I will be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. My role is not to push an agenda before you, by no means. I have tried, and I've tried to show that with this past election, I want to bring individuals that have a different perspective of key issues that are affecting us. The goal of Good Morning Brownsville is for you, the voters, for you, the constituents, for you, my people, to take this information, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the black and the white, and for you to make a decision on how you stand on whatever subject matter we're addressing. I'm very proud to say that our platform is focusing on those things, issues that we don't hear our politicians talk about. One thing I always admired about Erasmo Castro was that people would confide in him sensitive information that they felt was important for the outside world to know. People fed him information in regards to injustices, people who felt were being mistreated, taken advantage of. They confided in him sensitive information that he exposed. And with that, it brought about a lot of hate, a lot of animosity. Why? Because again, whether it be whatever entity that we talk about, they have a certain image to uphold. When you talk about the likes of the Brownsville Independent School District, a $500 million entity, it is not in their best interest to receive bad press. Heck, it's not good for any entity to be in the press. So what happens? Our news outlets turned a blind eye. Now, it may be harder for them because they do not have their boots on the ground, so to speak. I'm fortunate that people do reach out to me and do feed me information. And I'm very thankful for it because we have made it our mission. And look, you may call me crazy and say, man, what are you going to do? When I wake up every day and I turn on that camera, I think it's just me talking. Are people listening? Are people watching? Does this program, do our posts on social media, do they get shared? People may not share it because of their jobs, positions. But we take this job very seriously. And I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to come before you, to have an audience. People now want to say, who is that guy? What the heck is he talking about? But I find joy in knowing that whenever they question, who the heck is that guy? One of two things are going to come out. D-Pix, and that's the nephew of Erasmo Castro. And that I take with great pride because once they ask who I am, they bring his name up and they know what he was about. During the Charo Days parade, it was very touching for my family to hear the support of the community when they saw his car pass. I take this role very serious and I prepare. And for those individuals that have followed Good Morning Brownsville from 2-3 years ago, know how we started in the game, obviously because of Erasmo Castro. And I wouldn't be here before you if it wasn't because of him. During COVID, we were on 3 times, 4 times a day. But people always asked, why doesn't that guy talk? Referring to me. I was always the second fiddle because, again, hey, it's Erasmo Castro. But I was fortunate to learn from him and understand the power that the mic brings. It's not easy. I'm not here for pity. I'm not here for clout. I don't need attention. And I say that with all humility. I genuinely want a better Brownsville. That is something that we all strive for. We all want to provide a better community, better opportunities, a better quality of life for all of us. We may each have different roles within our community, but the goal is still the same. The power that we have behind the mic transcends and reaches those elected offices, and they know that people are watching. They know what's out there. I always laugh whenever I have news medias. You're talking KVEO. I've been reached from people from news affiliates from Houston, Univision. I always find it funny how they're asking me either for material or a quote, or where did you get this information? Can we share this feed? Can we share this video? But what does that tell us? That the mainstream media is not really covering these important issues. So whenever we present information, best believe that we've done our due diligence. We have worked to find out whatever we're being fed, whatever we're investigating, whatever we're following up, whatever lead we're following up matches up. Because at the end of the day, my credibility is on the line. It's like any relationship. Whenever people are in a relationship that they cannot trust one another, whatever you say is meaningless. So whenever I come before you, I have my ducks in a row. And it's very important for any report, journalist, any podcast to be educated on the subject matter and be prepared to present facts, factual information, and proof. So whatever we're talking about has weight. We're working on several stories. And again, it's funny how these kind of come. It's not something that I plan, it's not something that, oh, this and this. No, things just come in regards to stories, in regards to feeds, in regards to information, I guess. It's kind of crazy. I was talking to someone and saying, because they're like, man, like, how do you, how can you talk for an hour? I wouldn't know what to talk about. I was like, well, Brownsville has a lot to cover. A lot of stuff that needs to be brought to the light, that we need to talk about and have a discussion. And we need to question our elected officials. Because at the end of the day, we, the people, are the ones that put those individuals in that position. It is alarming whenever individuals come to the likes of Erasmo Castro, that come to Good Morning Brownsville to share their frustrations, their displeasure for things that have been happening for a long time, Gonzalez. You would think that issues that are important to the community, that affect the safety, well-being, that affects us financially, are things that would be brought out to light. But we see the total opposite. And that is when we as a community have a disconnection with our elected officials. My main focus again is to bring information. What you do with it is up to you. My role is simply to present black and white. I try to stay away from the gray area as much as possible, because at the end of the day, we as taxpayers, we have a stake in this. These people should respond to us. At the end of the day, we as voters are their bosses. As weird as it sounds, but that's the way it is. We are working on three major stories that have been transpiring as of late. And again, what frustrates us more than anything, chat, is how we hear about things once they're already so far gone. Problems that or situations that are shared with us, I feel as if they're done because we're the last resort. These individuals, whether at the city, county, school district, have gone through the proper channels, have addressed their displeasure, how they're being done unfairly. But what do we see? We see leadership either turn their back on those workers, on those employees who don't address the important issues. They let things get out of hand. And that is very scary because, like anything, like any issue, like any problem in which we may have personally, with a child of ours, with our loved one, we all can agree that if we don't address issues in a timely manner, it gets worse. And that problem keeps growing and growing and growing to a point that it bursts and things happen. People's safety are affected. People's livelihood will be changed. And that is what we're against. That is what motivates me every day. I usually don't share nothing private. Again, I always try to keep it what the program is, what the program is, what the story is, what the story is. Our elected officials have failed us. It's easy for them to call out the problem once it's already happened. But what we're going to present to you in these next few days will be very damning, to a point in which you will say, you're telling me one thing, but you're doing another. We spoke not too long ago about how actions speak louder than words, or in this case, maybe our lack of action speaks volumes. So for the next 3 days, we'll be talking about very delicate matters that pertain to us as citizens. And this information that I will be presenting, I don't find joy in this. My routine every day is I'm asleep by 9:30, 10, usually. I'm up by 4:30. And when I wake up, I start working on my story. I start preparing at 4:30. I want to make it as genuine as possible. I don't like to prepare as much. I try my best just to get a few pictures, make sure that all the information is locked in here. I turn on the tube and I go live. That's my routine. But what is shocking to me is that when I prepare for my thing and I go over the subject matter and the information that I was presented, I find that this shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't be this way. And again, I don't wake up every day at 4 in the morning with joy saying, oh, yes, I'm going to blast these people. Or, oh, yes, I find joy in talking about the bad that our city, the struggle that our city is facing, the lack of attention that my people are receiving. I don't find joy in that. I don't find joy in posting about what is happening at the high schools. On the contrary, I'm embarrassed. I don't wake up with a smile and say, ha ha, I'm going to get him this time. No. I wish to wake up every day at 4:30 in the morning and say, man, today va a estar bueno el show porque voy a hablar de lo bueno que es Bronzeville. Unfortunately, I don't. But we also want to present this information very delicately because there possibly could be ongoing investigations that will be happening. It is our quest that once we present this information, and again, we're going to do Thursday, Friday, and then Monday. When we present this information, it is our hope that these issues are addressed swiftly. If it is our goal that the community actually has a better understanding of who we're dealing with. Thank you so much, Lucio. I really, really appreciate you. Thanks for the love. I hope you and your family have a good day. Happy Tuesday, man. It is our goal and our quest that once we present this information, I just got a message. I don't know if I should read it or not. Harlingen CISD high school soccer coach arrested. School trying to keep media from reporting. Thank you so much. And we'll be addressing these issues and more very, very soon. Thank you for bringing that up to me. It is our quest that we understand what we're dealing with. Individuals that we thought, quote unquote, were working for us and had our best interests at heart. That knight in shining armor that we thought we had wasn't really doing his job or her job. By bringing to light this information, you will see how individuals that you put in those positions turned a blind eye. Multiple reports, multiple attempts to address these issues were overlooked. Why? What promises were made? Many people don't like to make waves. Politicians just like to cruise on through their 3 years. And then when comes election time comes, hey, vote for me. What the hell have you done? Nothing. You turned a blind eye. And what's that saying? How does that saying go, chat? Tal que peca que le cuida la pata a la vaca. There's a saying, a Mexican saying that we all, I don't want to say all of us Mexicans, but most of us Mexicans are aware of. That we are just as guilty if we hold the feet of the animal as compared to the one that slaughters it. Thank you so much for your love, Medrano. I really, really appreciate it. I did see your story that you posted a few days ago, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. If there's any way that we can help you or the victim's family, let us know. We are supportive of causes such as this, bringing to light, being vocal about what is happening to our people. It's not easy, but it's something that we feel as if must be done. So thank you so much, Ashley, for the love. And if there's anything that you need on our behalf, make sure you reach out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Going back to my analogy, what was I talking about? My family's going to trip out and say, estás hablando de una vaca, mijo. ¿Qué estás diciendo tú, una vaca? Y la gente te escucha, amigo, hablando de una vaca. No, hombre, amigo. People that don't address important issues, that don't snip it at the butt, as I like to say, that aren't quick to address the problem, are just as guilty. Why? Because they turned a blind eye. And that is what is going to be very, very damning. Why? Because individuals that were supposed to be looking out for us, that were supposed to be our gatekeepers, didn't do a thing. But the funny thing, chat, the funny thing is that they're always so quick to say, oh, I'm in it for the betterment of my community. It's all about the children. It's all about safety. It's all about this. It's all about that. Why is it once the community starts asking questions, then it's a serious matter? It's going to be very telling, chat, whenever I present information that you will say, you're going to be questioning the role that those people in leadership have. And you're going to be questioning why you didn't know about this. It will be something that they could not avoid. It's something that, oh, I didn't know. No, it was right under. It was right under their noses, so to speak. So that is what we're working on. We have summer right around the corner. We have graduations coming. A time that you would think that is full of joy, and we're going to celebrate the success of teachers and the students' accomplishments. Some are graduating and moving on to another phase in their life. What we're seeing and what we're hearing from the community is outrage. They're starting to speak up. People that before weren't vocal because of fear of threats of retaliation and possibly be even hurt more physically, emotionally. We're going to talk about those things. But again, chat, why is it me? Why is it me that is exposing this? Shouldn't it be those that are in the ground, foots in the ground, those people that have their ears open? Now, these people are either naive, they're negligent, or they're stupid. 1, 2, or 3, either way, it is not a good look. there's no way that these individuals will be able to say, I didn't know. Yo no sabía. What? No. But look at what's happening. We're if we talk about the school district, look what's happening. Why are we losing kids at a rapid pace? Are we being an exemplary school district? Do we have board members, administrators? Do we have a super that is being our gatekeepers? Again, we asked the question, why me, chat? I want each and every one of you that are watching this program, and we have a large viewership today. Should have done a commercial. I'm going to do a commercial on Thursday and Friday and Monday, and you will subscribe to my channel. If our politicians, if our administrators, if those people that we gave the job to protect and be our saviors, if they can't do the job, we'll gladly do it for them. It is apparent that individuals in the know had the opportunity to address very serious, important matters, which affect morale, which affect decency. We can make the argument that the lack of action will severely affect many, many lives. And for individuals to finally, once the Pandora's box is open, once it is a problem, for them to say, oh, well, I'm going to send, question and start sending memos and doing this. Oh, now it's an issue. Again, chat, why me? But again, we take it as a badge of honor for us to address those issues that our politicians, that those in leadership positions aren't addressing. And if that causes us to gain hate, for us to post about us, for us to talk about us, for us to criticize it, we'll take it on the chin with a badge of honor, chat. Because at the end of the day, these individuals promised us that they will take care of the most sacred thing that we have. If you're a parent, it's your child. If you're a spouse, it's your spouse. And we will be unfolding the blanket, Hernandez, to instances in which I will show you firsthand of how individuals that we thought were our knight in shining armor are just a dud. Their focus is to scream and holler and shout at things that are important. But when you talk about the livelihood and safety of anyone that walks in through those doors, that is very damning. So for Thursday, we'll be talking about how the athletic department at Rivera High School was brought to his knees. We'll be talking about an environment that was hostile, that was not received very well, wasn't a welcoming environment. because of certain individuals, people in power, people that had the chance to do right. When they were brought certain information, they listened, but they didn't do anything about it. That is what evidence will show. And again, I'm only as good as my evidence. This isn't me talking. This isn't me making things up. You think, again, I find pleasure in waking up and talking about these sensitive issues? No. I'd rather be talking about sports. I wish I could make a sports show at 9 a.m. and you would tune in. But again, if those in leadership positions aren't equipped to be there for us, they need to step aside. So Thursday, chat, that's what we'll be working on. Thursday, we'll be working on the story. Well, it's a two-part segment, so to speak. Again, there's a lot of subject matter. There's so much to talk about. Brownsville, unfortunately, is giving and giving and giving. Well, I'll say Cameron County. Somebody made fun of me because I said, oh, my world is Brownsville. And they're like, well, you have a small world. I was like, well, small kid in a big city. So our two-part segment to round off the weekend will be focused, unfortunately, on Rivera Early College High School. We did post about serious allegations that didn't arise from one day to the next. It's funny because someone sent me that information on Sunday night. And again, whatever people tell me to post, I'll post. As long as it's not threatening, as long as it's not graphic, as long as it's, because again, I want this program. I want my platform, which is social media, Facebook, to be that of the will of the people. And you may laugh and say, este changarro. But again, we're trying to do our part. Would that person send me that information? I didn't, I don't want to say I didn't think, but my phone started buzzing. People started reaching out to me. I woke up at 4:30 and had several missed calls, several text messages. People are genuinely scared. They're worried because they feel that those individuals, Lamas, whether that be the super, the board members, top level administration, leadership, that they're all complicit in this. It's a wide web that these individuals have, and they protect themselves. That is what we'll be addressing. On Friday for the second part series, let me take a little. And our program is sponsored by Human Bean. Human Bean is located on East Alton Glore. Make sure you get your coffee there. Are about to break ground on their Boca Chica location, the Human Bean. Have a great day. Our Friday's segment will be an environment of bad behavior and will show negligence on the part of top to bottom. And we'll show and we'll talk about how this scandal was something that people knew about. It wasn't a secret. It's not something that someone found out about it not too long ago. It's not something that happened yesterday or a few weeks ago. It's been brewing for a while. That is called neglect. That is called mismanagement. We can dare say that it seems as if these issues were brought up to the attention of many people and it was never addressed. The question is, why? Rivera Early College High School has an environment that is alarming, that is scary. If you're a parent, if you are an employee, if you are a community member, that is what we will show. Muchas gracias, Chelsea, por su cariño. Estamos muy agradecidos por su presencia. Gracias por su tiempo. Esperamos que tenga un lindo martes y un lindo, una linda semana. Gracias por su atención. Le mando un beso y un abrazo. Muchas gracias por su cariño. So, let TEA take over. Enough is enough. Clean house. Hold elections in 5 years. We have seen how La Jolla is dealing with that right now. It's not good. Maybe that is something that the school district needs. And just when I posted that on Sunday night, other people started bringing up to light, because again, it was already brought up sometime before. And I heard about this in July of last year. That's when I heard about it. But it was something to where we're working on it, or we have, like, I had understood through my former predecessor that it was being addressed. So I thought, okay, it's being addressed. But on Sunday, it was not just that instance, it was multiple instances. So that was the story. Hey, we have a major problem on our hands. And once we posted the information on Sunday, what did we see? We started hearing about other instructors. People started sending me pictures of people drinking together and like, hey, you need to call this out. And like, whoa. This information is like 10 years old. But why? Because people feel compelled to bring this to light. Hey, this is what I saw. This is what I hear. And we saw instances of Hannah, veterans. Miss Simpson is now saying that Harlingen High School. Could it be that these instances that people hear about encourages others to be vocal and saying, hey, this is affecting me. This is affecting me too. On Monday, we'll be exposing a Cameron County politician. So we have a lot to look forward to. I will be busy these next few days working on this information that is damning in nature. But as a community member, it's sad. It's sad because we feel as if individuals have lied to us right in our face. Again, we think that these individuals are doing what is best for us, but are they really? So, chat, you won't want to miss Thursday, the demise of the Rivera Athletic Department. Friday, we'll be talking about the school's hostile environment. And on Monday, our focus will be exposing a Cameron County politician. I don't want to give too much details on that story. I've been working on it for a while, but it's something that needs to come to light. So make sure you tune in, chat. Thursday, Friday, Rivera, 2-part series where people are still sending me information, and it's kind of overwhelming because it's like, whoa, is it really this bad? Come on now. And it's like, yep, it is. So make sure you tune in, chat. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., porque se va a poner. This is true. However, at the end of the day, if we don't vote them out, starting from the top, how can we fix what's happening in our schools? This has been going on for years, and it was always swept under the rug. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be, you're going to question. You're going to question things. So, tune in. Rivera High School needs new coaches. The kids deserve better. They need new counselors. They deserve someone who cares. Ouch. Ouch. So, was there collusion with what happened at Rivera? Brownsville. Tucker. Tune in, Daddy. Thursday and Friday. I know, Tucker, you'll tune in, man. So we'll be talking about it. If you want a little sneak peek, message me. I'll give you a little taste. Now tune in Thursday and Friday. I'm sure you'll find it juicy. It goes back to Rene Gutierrez. He was the beginning of the end because he was involved, allowed and condoned and covered up so much illegal and wrongdoing, all in fulfillment of his personal preferences. Interesting. So, who made the cops stand down? Oh, you don't say. It's nothing new that they disappoint the public and they still enjoy the benefits of their wrongdoing. Say it ain't so, Samuel. Say it ain't so, Sam. Miss Glenda says, oh, it's bad. Talk to kids that graduated since 2004 to present. And this has been going on for a long time. Again, chat, I'm not here. I don't come before you and say, oh, I hear this and this must be true with hearsay. I don't come here with no. When I talk to you about it, it's because ya se hizo el trato. The thing's already been done. And for multiple people to state, hey, this has been ongoing. This has been going on for a long time. Miss Ayala is talking about 20 plus years. Now, who's been at that school for that long? Who has their ear to the ground and is aware of all this happening? Is it fair to say that those individuals that know about something going on and don't report it are just as guilty as those that are doing the deed? You be the judge of that, chat. You be the judge. Since the 90s at Porter, I heard about Porter yesterday. Supposedly, Porter's going to be in the news as well. And not for all the good reasons. Hell yeah, I'll tune in, dude. I know you will, Tucker. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and your attention. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. It is important for us to all want a better community. We have been lied to, manipulated by our local leaders who have promised us that they will be the gatekeepers and protect us, protect our children, protect our spouses, protect our money, our taxpayer money. But on the contrary, we have seen the total opposite. Again, if our local elected officials, if our leaders within the community are not addressing those things that are important to us, that affect our safety and the livelihoods of our loved ones, step aside. We will talk about these issues. We will make the community aware of what's going on. At the end of the day, transparency is key in any relationship I will gladly talk about these issues because at the end of the day, that individual is someone's daughter, someone's son, someone's husband, and someone's wife. And once you deal with very sensitive issues and don't address them, that is where we have a problem. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. We stream our platforms on Facebook and YouTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to YouTube. We could be found under Frankie Olivo TV. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. We'll be here tomorrow morning, bright and early, talking about those things that are important to our community. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Have a great day, Brownsville. Let's kick butt. Hinojosa, together we will bring the change that we need, and together we will be addressing these issues that are important to our community. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.